I used to be a 10 out of 10 friend, always available, responding to every text like instantly, always putting everybody in front of myself. If someone would disrespect me, I wouldn't confront them, kind of be like friends with whoever wants to be friends with me. And like on the surface, that all seemed fine, like everybody seemed to be pleased with me. But the thing is that, yeah, everybody was pleased with me, but well, except me. I don't know, objectively, pleasing people is not a bad thing, right? Like if people are pleased, I guess that's like objectively a good thing. But where it becomes very tricky and very poopy is when it comes to the extent of your happiness and of yourself. Like, let's pin this up with some examples. I would go way above my limits. If a friend texts me, do you want to hang at 8 p.m? And I really don't want to do it. I don't have the energy. I couldn't see a way how to say no to that. Of course I would do it. Of course I would go above my limits. I would go out. I would put so much effort into keeping up a conversation because I'm just so tired. But anyway, I would have never said no, because what if that person is mad at me? What if that person then afterwards never wants to hang out with me? Yeah, I was just thinking what the other person would love to do. That's not good. That's not healthy for anybody. Not for the person, because they're just like babied all the time. And ultimately, it's not healthy for me, for my confidence, for my self-esteem. This was all like down the drain. Like now, retrospectively, I'm like, you know, if a friend wouldn't respect your boundaries, what kind of friendship was that even? So, and it's very difficult to change that from one day to the other, to like all of a sudden be now, you know, now I'm saying whatever I want to say. But a few things actually really did help. I see, let's hear him. Let's say we start with saying no, because at least for me, I don't know, like this is a word that has not been used very much by me, and I think it's time for it to join my vocabulary, you know? I would say we start off by like reversing the roles. For example, if somebody says no to me, so you know, I ask them something like, do you want to hang out after work today? You know, they're like, no, I'm very tired, like let's hang out, blah blah blah, you know? Chances are I'm gonna be fine if somebody says no to me. I might be in the first second like, oh, that's a bummer, you know, I really would have loved to see the person, but I'm gonna be fine. If communicated in a polite way, there is nothing wrong with saying no. It doesn't make you a bad person for saying no. And you know, if somebody doesn't accept you know what, that's okay. Because I'm like, do I really want to have people in my life who don't respect my boundaries? I don't think so. That's gonna sound very sad now, but you know, we're honest here. One of my core beliefs was, I think that people only want to hang out with me if I'm doing exactly what they want. But that's not true. Like objectively, it's not true, you know? It's a fact that you should hang out with people who love you for who you really are. It takes a while to like rewrite that narrative, but you know, planting the seeds. Another thing, you can't give from an empty cup, you know? But when I take care of myself, you know, when I'm actually, you know, listening to my needs, saying no when I want to, then I have also so much more to give you. It's the opposite of selfish. And today I'm actually gonna do now something that's gonna fill up my cup, you know? Today I was asked if I wanna go to the cinema. For me, I did a very heroic thing, and I said, you know what? I'm sorry, I can't do today, but what about like on the weekend we can like grab dinner? Big step, guys, big steps. Okay, look, so I signed up now to go to a pottery class. I've spent a little time on Pinterest, you know, as you do. I found this vase and I was like, I need to do that. I'm gonna keep it casual. You know, when you're like a little bit nervous when you go somewhere, you don't really know yet how it's gonna be. You know what really helps? Bringing your comfort bottle of water, bringing some snacks. So this is a game changer, you know, whenever I feel a bit like, I feel anxious and I'm like, oh my god, fuck, I wanna go home. Having your favorite snack at hand really calms you down. So how did the day go? Better than I thought it would go. I don't know, like in between I had quite some doubts if you know, right now on the path of becoming the most evil person because I did what was better for me. But you know, we recentered after a while. Another thing I wanted to show you, one sec. I feel like I always have like good advices in my head and like when I tell it to other people, but to actually act upon them myself, you know, that's a little different type of story. What helps me is when I write shit down. So I wrote down a few sticky notes. On one I wrote, it is okay to say no when I feel like it. The only happiness you're responsible for is your own. Straight out of Pinterest, it spoke to me. Put it on there, comes in my closet. Actually, another thing I've seen on social media, she put herself those reminders on her phone, and then when you go throughout your day, you're really busy, you don't remember all those like great things you came up with. Because you're probably more likely to have your phone around than a physical post-it note. I think this is quite genius. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I really enjoyed it. I really appreciate that you came along with me today on my journey away from pleasing people. I hope it also helped you a little bit. And yeah, I'll speak to you in a few days. Bye-bye.